Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is MerrDawg. I'm an Apex Predator, ALGS finalist, and I have over 6,000 hours in Apex Legends, and I'm here to give you guys my top 5 tips for Apex Ranked. Alright, so before we get into any tips, I want everybody to understand how the ranked ladder actually works and how it awards RP, which is rank points. It's a combination of your placement in that game and kill points, which is KP. Depending on where you end up finishing the game, that's how much your kills are worth. So if you were to die in, let's say, 14th place, but you had 6 KP, that would be 60 points. Each kill is awarded 10 points for that. But if you're in first, each kill is awarded 25 points. So keep in mind how that ladder works and how to manipulate that in your favor. Alright, so starting off with tip number 1, I want to talk about team composition, and that will be the legends that you guys pick on that team. So if you're solo queuing, it's difficult to coordinate with your teammates which legends they're going to play. You could ask them in the game chat, but it might not work. I would say anytime you're picking legends, pick a legend that's going to help out the entire team. So instead of playing a legend like Mirage, which is a super selfish character that might help you get kills, but it's not going to help your teammates get killed. Bloodhound is a great pick because it allows your entire team to see where the whole entire enemy team is. Gibraltar's a great pick with defensive capabilities. Wraith with their portal. So keep in mind these picks and pick the best legend to help your team. Okay, so tip number 2 is going to be land somewhere on the outside of the map. This is going to be picking your drop spot. So, first talking about the drop spot and how important it actually is to have a drop spot. You can have more than one drop spot, but this is going to be a place where you regularly land and you know the ins and the outs of this place, where the best loot is, where the best high ground is in this specific area for fighting off drop, and the best rotations out of this place. With that being said, you're going to want to look at the map and you're going to pick somewhere that's on the outer ring of the map. Perfect examples would be lava fissure, staging, thermal station, tree, launch site, dome. These are all places that will have nobody behind you. So if you land and there's a team contesting you, that's the only fight you're going to have. But on top of that, you're not going to have a third party from all directions and you're going to know which way is safe and which way is not. Meaning there's never going to be anybody on your back because that's the edge of the map. So land somewhere on the outer ring of the map and learn those drop spots well, and then start going regularly to the drop spots that you're most comfortable with. Alright, so this is tip number 3, but this isn't as much a tip as it is kind of the way the game unfolds. So starting off with the early game, this is when everybody's going to be looting and anybody who's contested is going to want to fight. This is when you're going to want to fight as well. So try to find a place that's hot, that is contested on the outer ring like I was saying before. That way you're not going to get third party as much and you could get some of your KP there. It is super important for you to get your KP there. Discussing before how the ranked ladder works actually for the multiplier. If you have that 3 KP, you can immediately go to end zone and just sit there for the rest of the game and you're going to get tons of extra RP for not even having to fight for the entire duration of the game because you killed one team. So that's super important to pay attention to. Next is going to be the mid game, and this is when you're going to want to rotate. So after if you fought off the squad that was there, or maybe you didn't even have a fight, but you got looted up, this is when you're going to want to rotate. If you haven't had a fight, what you're going to want to do is prioritize a rotate, but try to find a fight on the rotation. So look for chokes you can kind of hold, get areas, take third parties, but that's the extent of it. You really don't want to be fighting because of how many teams are also looking for KP. Don't force it. Like, placement is worth way more than KP is because you can get that extra KP at the end of the game. I'd much rather win a game with 3 KP than lose in 7th with 4. It's just not worth it. Alright, so the end game is where it gets really tricky depending on which position you're holding. If you were able to rotate and get KP early, you should have a pretty decent spot at this point, and that will all be about just holding that position, coordinating with your team, what they're watching, and doing as much damage as possible to the rotating teams, and just holding the game-winning spot. But if you weren't able to rotate early, what you're going to want to do is look for the weakest link and move from spot to spot. So let's say this building, it's only a duo, try to go kill that team and then do damage on that team, and it just kind of unfolds and move yourself into the best position you possibly can, while at the same time playing for the highest placement you can get. So instead of risking your life for the game-winning spot when you're in 7th place, just play for a 4th place. And then from the 4th place position, play for a 2nd place. And then potentially get the win. But you've played much safer, and now your KP is worth a lot more. So keep that in mind when you're looking for the win. Alright, so tip number 4 is going to be about fighting. And this tip is more of a blanket that goes over the entire game and pretty much every engagement you have throughout the game. But this is the biggest downfall of every single team fighting in the low ranked teams. And it's that they don't play together and they don't commit. And the problem with it is that it's really hard to decide when it's a good idea to commit and when it's not a good idea to commit. And that's just going to come with time and you developing that game sense, when to do it, when not to do it. But even if you're solo queuing or not solo queuing, what you should be doing is committing with your team. Take the loss instead of the hesitation. So a teammate will make a bad decision and he'll go push a house, and there's 3 dudes in there. instead of just leaving him out to dry and he's going to die and like, oh, maybe I'll get some shots for you. Just go push with him, man. Like, go help him out. Go get in there. And the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to get sent back to the lobby. Maybe you'll take a minus 36. Maybe you'll take a minus 48. Maybe you're even in Masters and take a minus 60. But from that, you're going to learn when is the right time to play and when is the wrong time to play. And I can't stress enough, analyzing these situations and taking more engagements with your team is going to allow you to learn from those engagements instead of you hesitating, letting your teammate die, and then you don't know what happened from it. I've been in so many situations where I actually just committed with my team. Hey, look, there's a third party. My teammate's staying there. I got to fight with him. And we won. And then a fourth party, and we won. And it's just because we're playing together, we're communicating, and I'm not leaving. None of us are running. We're just playing together. So even if you have randoms on your team that are making bad plays, just commit with the bad plays and just try to stick it out and then learn from those bad plays. And then when you factually know, hey, we're dead for making this play, that's when you can start running away. But unless you 100% know, I mean, dead to rights, you're one shot, there's 3 people, don't hesitate. Just go commit with your teammate and try to make the play happen. All right, so tip number 5, the last tip. This is going to be by far the hardest tip, but the most important tip. Take you from a hard-stuck Plat 4 gamer to literally a Masters player in maybe 2 weeks. What you're going to want to start doing is analyzing why you're losing, why you're winning, and putting together all these tips. Figuring out why you won the game specifically will allow you to replicate that for every single game to come. And then figuring out why you lost is going to allow you to eliminate a mistake that you've been making up until this point. So you might be making a mistake every single game and you just don't understand that's why. So obviously, this is what we call kind of game sense, but your ability to analyze a situation and learn why you won and why you lost isn't going to be the best if you're not the best player. But it's going to develop with time and it's going to get much better. So what you want to do is after every win, after every loss, think about it. Go over it, talk with your friends, talk with your buddies, pay attention to it, record your VODs, whatever it may be, and figure out why those things are happening the way they're happening, and then replicate those processes or eliminate them from your gameplay. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed my tips. Hopefully they're helpful. Hopefully you go from the Plat hard stuck or the Diamond hard stuck right into Predator. Wishing you guys the best. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. Comment anything you'd like to see down below. Don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button. But for now, peace out, gamers.